Alrighty, I think the stream should be much better now, guys. I was testing connection earlier, and I'm getting input issues. Why is this doing this? It's crazy. Okay, well, it looks like it's online now. We'll see. Alright, guys, just let me know if the stream's coming in through clear. I apologize. I don't know why we're getting internet issues. I just did a speed test, and it now is running like double the speed what it was before, so we'll have to see if it'll hold. Hopefully it'll hold tonight, because it's a special night. I'll have to see, though. All right, it's clear. Awesome, guys. Let's hope it stays that way. All right. Well, anyways, glad to have you guys on the live stream. I apologize for the errors we were having before. I guess we'll kind of start anew on this, seeing as I deleted the previous stream, which wasn't running too well. For those of you who didn't hear me, I just want to go ahead and let you all know that I truly appreciate all the love and support you guys have been showing over since we started the channel. We're close to 300,000, and it's definitely been an awesome run so far. It's been absolutely phenomenal. It's been less than a year. Really crazy. So it's definitely hitting me. Sorry, I'm like in and out. Yeah, I'm seeing some people are getting lag. I hope the stream is running through good, guys. All right. Well, anyways, we'll go ahead and start this off. If it keeps lagging, we'll definitely we'll see if we can fix it. But I think at this moment, doing the best we can. It looks like it's going through clear right now. Okay. Now the bit rate's pretty low. I don't have it too high, Muffin or Muffy, but all right. Let's see here. I can probably change my settings real quick. Go ahead and drop that bit rate down. See if that'll fix anything. OBS does not have proportion windows. There we go. All right, tell me if that clears up things, guys. It looks like it's coming through a little bit clearer now. All right, looks like it's good now. All right, guys, let's just hope it keeps going. Anyways, back to what we were talking about, getting back in the mojo of things. Really appreciate all the love, guys. I can't say it enough. I've used YouTube for, I guess now it's actually been over 11 years. I've used it ever since 2007. I was an early adopter of YouTube. I really love the platform in regards to giving people an opportunity to express themselves. It pretty much gave everyone a platform to get in the media space, whereas in the traditional world, it was pretty isolated, pretty controlled. So I think that's the beauty of the internet. It gives everyone a chance at it. And it makes it a platform that's not expensive to get onto. You know, you can. I remember when I first started, I think I just uploaded videos on my flip camera with my old friend, and yeah, it's amazing how much it's grown. YouTube has some good things and a lot of bad things, but it's still a great platform, I think, for the most part. And I'm so happy that for the first time in my life, I've been able to have a channel that's grown so well, and to have a community behind it as well. That's even more important. You can have a big channel and you can be some big shot vlogger or, you know, media entertainer, singer, but it's awesome to have something where you can communicate quite actively with the community, especially one that's so engaged and so kind-hearted and, you know, helpful to one another. So I appreciate that, everyone. Anyways, so as we're going steadfast towards 300,000, we're going to go ahead, guys, and take a little bit at the market. Outside of that, though, as well, I want to let you guys know, if you might have caught it in the video before I deleted it beforehand, a few quick announcements. The first thing is that we are going to be over the next month. I can't promise it'll be out by June, but I'm going to try to work to get the starting phase for our merch. I thought for the longest time nobody wanted merchandise from the Data Dash brand in the community, but you guys have requested it, and we're going to make some sick designs. And I'm not talking about, okay, yes, we will have a shirt with just the Data Dash logo probably, but we're going to have some crazy designs for you guys. I don't want to spoil it, but a lot of good meme designs, a lot of good crypto inside joke designs that are going to get people like, okay, what are you laughing at? What's your shirt? Like, and you're going to obviously go on a 60-minute rant talking about blockchain and how it's the future and how crypto is the future. Anyways, so We have merch coming soon. Pretty decent announcement. I don't think it's all that big. But outside of that as well, we'll obviously talk about a few more things later on. I've got 2 big videos coming soon. The top 3 coins for June, obviously. We're going to do tomorrow, hopefully, if I find the time. I'm going to be a little bit busy tomorrow. Outside of this, well, my top 3 ICOs for Q3 of the year. Got some really interesting ICOs coming up over the horizon that I want to share with you guys for those of you out there who invest in the space. And obviously a whole bunch of other videos coming soon. The OTC video that many people have been talking about. I got a request for that actually right before I went on stream. The over-the-counter crypto market. I'll be doing a video on that in probably, if I'm judging properly, in about 3 weeks. It depends if I can get the right interviews and connections. I want to do a great job on it like we did with the market manipulation one, so don't want to rush it out. Tripod, you need the jacket. Well, you know what? I'm not sponsored by any means. I'm not getting paid to do this, but if you want to get it, it's a company called Opposutes. I got it from Kohl's. It was the best $50 I ever spent. I don't like to spend money, but awesome. Didac, I'm glad to hear that you're excited for the merch. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into the stream. Hope the audio is good. Hope the connection's looking good as well. So we take a look across the board in the market. Generally seems like exchange tokens are doing well. Huobi token and Binance coin are doing quite nice. Generally speaking, though, the whole market is definitely in the green. This is obviously following what Bitcoin's doing at the moment, with a few players in the red. But obviously, as we took a look at the daily update earlier, markets are moving sideways at the moment after we got our rebound for the past 2 days, or past 3 days technically. So we'll have to see if we can hold it. It seems like we're seeing the same old Bart trend, the Bart Simpson trend, where Bitcoin just tends to jump up for a few hours, move around with some retail volume, and then drop down. We see Barts everywhere, right here, 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 here. I mean, it's just like everywhere. It's terrible. But it's the same like matching volume. You can't help but feel this is just like leverage traders screwing over everyday traders trying to trade this. That's the thing. I don't get too caught up in trying to trade Bitcoin, guys, because at the moment it has a low liquidity. The best thing you can possibly do, again, I don't want to direct you guys to decide for yourselves. It's not financial advice. But what I do is I look for good dips, and I look for periods where things are oversold, and I look for those rebounds, and I try to pick up altcoins at those prices. That's just what you have to do at this moment. Jeff Bowman, Nick, shouldn't you look at Litecoin USD before predicting its doom? Jeff, you're trying to trick me into looking at Litecoin. Well, it worked because I'm going to talk about it here in just a moment. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, we'll take a look at it in just a moment. I'm not saying that it's doomed, but I do feel that if the Bitcoin comparative doesn't hold at the level it's been holding at for months, that is going to be a huge breach on support. And it's only a matter of time until the selling would pick up and then probably drop down, and we'd see some pretty serious sell side price action, especially if Bitcoin dropped any lower from where it is. So we'll definitely take a look at that in just a second, Joe. Excuse me, Jeff. My apologies. Let's see here. Indrid, no, I don't think 1,000 or 1,300 is plausible. That would be ridiculous if Bitcoin went that low. At that point, you're talking of more than a 90% correction from the highs. You really have to think about that for a second. Actually, well over a 90%. Think about that for a second. If you see it happening, by all means, but I genuinely do not see that happening, So let's see here. Oh, it started lagging, guys. My apologies. I hope it's running all right. Let me go ahead and check. Yeah, see, it's coming in and out. It's the weirdest thing. Go ahead and I guess it's back on now. I'll keep still. Maybe I'm getting in the way. We're moving, but Nick isn't. Glitch in the Matrix. I want to rewatch The Matrix. I've watched that movie plenty of times, but it never gets old, the original one. Star Force Space Bridge. Love it or your money back. All right, Daniel, I'll take a look at that. Is that a song or Star Force Space Bridge? Okay, you know what? We'll get that on the record here. Let's see if we can get that. Ooh. It's not bad so far. I like that. Like that intro. Des, the reason why probably no one's talking about smart contracts on IOTA is because most protocols already have smart contracts, and then also as well, I'm curious if those smart contracts are really secure, seeing as there's been some issues with transactions on IOTA. Just gonna say that, Des. Not trying to spit any fire, but or any burn any bridges with IOTA, but let's see here. Jack, nice to have you on. Scotch, I remember Vaporwave. It just had a very short lifespan because you have Retrowave, you have Vaporwave, and you have all these new kind of lo-fi. Lo-fi actually took off pretty good. It's something, obviously, it's mainstream enough to where a lot of people listen to it, but you're obviously not going to bump to it with your friends. That's the thing about it. It's not like rap or rock or country or anything like that you listen to with a group of people. It's what you listen to when you're having your downtime. Retrowave for me is the same kind of way. It's something that you listen to either between the live stream or by myself. So Don Nicholas, behave. Andrew, no, I did not invest in Hashgraph, but I did look. I obviously got to go to the event in New York City, which I was really excited about. It's just that they were closed off to accredited investors, and I could technically invest in it if that was the case, but Daspar wants me to pop the collar, 1980 style. We can possibly. I actually realized my collar was popped by accident in the last live stream. I didn't even realize it until the end. But going to what the individual was talking about earlier about Hashgraph, I don't think raising to just accredited investors is going to be good for Hedera Hashgraph in the long term. My opinion, personally. Let's see here. Congrats, young man. PyCon, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You've been an active member in the community. Relatively, I guess a relatively new moderator, but you've been obviously in the Discord for a while. But PyCon, much love back to you, man. Thanks for sticking around so long and being such a great guy in the community. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Mark, I can agree with you. Synthwave is nice as well. Al Pafaf, thank you very much. Appreciate the love. Amar likes POA network. I can get down with that. Gandhi P. I'm not gonna mention the name of that coin. It's I met one of the founder developers. Yeah, scam coin. Let's see here. East, thank you for the love for the crypto community. Indrid, no, I haven't used TrueUSD yet. Now, I have nothing against TrueUSD. I actually want to start using it soon. It just needs more liquidity in it. Right now, obviously, they have a vetted process on how capital is injected as well as removed from TrueUSD, and we have to wait. It's only about, I think there's only 40-something million right now. Still really great for the start, and it's good to know that it's coming through in a vetted way, so we actually have the cash there. But in the case of TrueUSD, it needs some more liquidity. I think you need to at least get up to the $200 or $300 million range before I could really smoothly use it, because I've seen some spikes and also some dips on it. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Ewa. I apologize. I know it's probably late for you over in London, but I appreciate that you could at least make it. Same to you, Ewa. I always appreciated not only the love you showed on my videos, but the wonderful times we shared in London. Hope to make it back and see you sometime soon, and hopefully we'll go around and do a tour of London again. I had a great time doing that, but hopefully go see some things we didn't get to see. Jeff Bowman, I need a Coogie sweater to complete the 80s vibe. I gotta do something funny for the 300,000 sub special. BTC Golden Cross soon. Oh, you know, that's interesting, Long Range. I haven't been considering the fact that we might. No, it doesn't look like we're getting a Golden Cross soon because the 200-day and the 50-day are so distant from one another right now. Maybe when we start curving back upwards. Alexandra, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the donation. Mr. Cheat, it's interesting you asked that. I think this is a good stream where we can talk about some, I guess, some general kind of off-topic crypto things. Not too much big things going on in crypto right now. Mr. Chi asked me, where did I decide to move? And I haven't picked exactly where, Mr. Chi, but I got to tell you, I've been finding, I took a lot of the feedback you guys provided me on Twitter, and I appreciate that you guys spent the time to share some places and why you liked it, and to consider the factors that I was looking for as well. For those of you who don't know, I've been generally looking for somewhere. Obviously, I want to stay in the U.S. I've got to stay in the U.S. It's my home. I love the country. I'll be doing a lot of international traveling, so I think I kind of want a home base in the U.S. But outside of that, I've been looking for a place where have something where I could raise a family in the future. I really want to raise a family long term, and obviously some place that's not ridiculously expensive, like San Francisco or New York City. Can't afford those property values, especially after this kind of bull market in real estate. And outside of that as well, I want somewhere that's kind of more conservative, libertarian in views and stuff. Definitely good traditional values and stuff. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this back on something we can get rocking on. Let's see. We'll do time cop here. I think time cop would be good. Keep it at 240p so the stream doesn't get interrupted. All right, stream looks like it's still going good. All right, that's good. Get some good music going. Tell me if the music's good for you guys. Alrighty. Wyoming, Australia. I would like to go to Australia, David. Mark says Tokyo. Yeah, I'm hoping to visit Tokyo this year. But Adam, thank you very much for congratulating on 300K. We're close to it. We're real close to it. I'm real excited, guys. I can't wait to see if we get there tomorrow. I don't think it's going to happen tonight unless a miracle happens. But yeah, I think at the moment we probably won't see it tonight. But yeah, I think, I've got a few places I was looking at. I really liked a few areas in Colorado. Out of all places, I was looking at Boise, Idaho, which I think we might fit into our U.S. tour. Out of all places, I love the feel of the town. It looks nice. It's real close to nature, but also kind of small, urban city. What else was there? I'm trying to think as well. Let me get ahead and turn the music down a tad bit. There we go. Outside of that as well, I mean, there was Charlotte, North Carolina. I knew that from my old boss and stuff who always talked about it. He loved Charlotte. They lived there for a while. Interesting if true. Thank you very much. I appreciate the subscribe. Tracy, really? You moved all the way from D.C., Washington, D.C. to China. Wow. I'm sorry, guys. I hate the stream is lagging. My apology. I wish it was working better, guys. I do apologize. Steven, I think Neo, along with all the other protocols, are going to do well over the next year. That is if we, continue to get institutional money in and everything. But all right, guys, I guess we'll cancel off the music. I think that's what's generally causing it. I did reset the router, guys, to be fair with you. I tried everything I could. Dave, you live in Charlotte. That's nice. Yeah, I think Charlotte's a nice area. Jack, yeah, I agree with you. I don't think the Death Cross or the Golden Cross would really be a good indicator, because the Death Cross wasn't really... If you think about it, it didn't really do anything. In fact, afterwards, we got a reversal in price. So it seems kind of counterintuitive. Alexandra, I don't know too much on TNC. I apologize. I'm trying to think what TNC is symbol-wise. Alrighty. Maximus, yes, the internet provider is giving me trouble tonight. They heard I was talking about crypto. Will G, speaking of institutional money, do you think the security token platforms will be effective? Yeah, well, here's the thing about security token platforms. I think, Shai, and I haven't looked too much into AdBank. I apologize on that. But thank Thank you very much for the donation question. I'll definitely try to look into AdBank. In regards to your question, Will, I've had many people ask me about the security token platforms. We talked about this in Chiang Mai back on my trip down to Thailand. The thing about it, in regards to security platforms, I think they're going to serve a purpose in regards to security versus utility tokens. In that sense, I think you're going to have security platforms, obviously, lead in a good sense. I mean, the thing is, it starts to really go away from what the ICO really is. If you think about it, an ICO is a great way for a distributed community to get involved in awesome projects and tokenized cryptocurrencies. But the thing about it is that in regards to having a security platform, you can still have a lot of the benefits of tokens. Tokens are very liquid. They're very easy. If there's an exchange that trades them, you can trade them. They're very easy to move around. You can keep them in your own wallets. You don't need to keep them on exchange. It's a little bit different than owning shares in something per se, where you can't always own a copy of it yourself, unless you're going back to the old days of owning paper shares, and that's not very secure. So I think there's definitely a future for it, but we'll have to see. Yeah, Iceberg, if we can get the music on, we'll get it soon. Bum, I don't know how Olimpo is still going up. I don't really dig the project that much. Not to be negative on it, but I haven't looked into it. It just seems like a lot of the health stuff with blockchain. I think you have better luck with more GDPR stuff managing your own healthcare data, or at least giving permission to different people. Akabe, 470 subs left. We're almost there. Someone said, Monopoly might have said, move to Texas. I'd definitely consider Texas. I'm going to be visiting Houston on my trip on the world tour. We'll get that info. We'll get the info out on the world tour as well soon, when we get all that formulated. Someone said, move where there's nice internet. Let's see. JDNT says being nulls deep will pay off big this year. Yes, nulls is looking like it might go through, guys. We need to take a look at nulls, and then I'll take a look at Litecoin, as I was talking about earlier. I promised I'd take a look at Litecoin. But what's nice is after you factor out the market maker volume has been building up for the past 3 days. The cup and handle. I mean, guys, cup. Oh, look at my terrible drawing. Cup, handle, and breakout. That's exactly what you want to look for there in regards to a long-term trend. We held there very steadily along 25,000 Satoshis, got the company in price action back to the highs. We got the support at 45,000 sats. Look at that. You just can't get better than that. So I think it's good. We're above the 21-day signaling momentum here on nulls. Very good looking. Tilt, yes, I do watch Silicon Valley from time to time. I got to watch pretty much all of this season. It's pretty funny. I love how they did the Pied Piper ICO, which is pretty fitting for this year. Glad to see it. It looks like the stream's getting back online. I'm glad everything's running a little bit better, guys. Hope it'll stay that way. The internet's good here, guys. It's just that I'm running off wireless, sadly. Yeah. Let's see. If I could subscribe again, I would. Raphael, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Nulls deep. I don't know who ever started the nulls deep meme. It's so funny because I've been covering nulls for a while, and I don't know where that stemmed from. Yeah, I've known about P-Chain for a while. When I started digging a little bit into the ICO space, P-Chain was kind of like the hot trend when I first started, and it looks nice, but I don't know if you'll have to see what price it comes out to on exchanges, to be fair. Let's see. Yeah, I know Jason's mentioning Google Fiber. Oof, wherever I move, I hope there's Google Fiber. If not that, at least some kind of fast internet. But Google Fiber, I'd pay for that. Let's see here. Off topic, Nick. What did you do at school, college, university? You're clearly well educated. Just curious on what you did. It's Tom. It's funny. I went to a college. It's known as Virginia Commonwealth University. It's VCU. Everyone knows this probably for the Rams and playing basketball and stuff. I think we got Final Four a few years ago. But yeah, we have a pretty good basketball team. Anyways, outside of that, I dropped out of college because I couldn't stand it. I didn't like the general culture. I didn't like the stuff I was paying tens of thousands of dollars for. The same old kind of standard complaints on college. I'd already learned most of what I learned through my own education, through just going out of my way, researching on the internet, spending time, and using my free time towards my advantage for the long term, not wasting it. When I was in school, for example, teachers, instead of walking by and seeing me on my computer going on games, I was trading stocks. I was keeping up with financial news. I was learning about financial markets. I was learning about what was going on in the political scene. I was learning about business and entrepreneurship, trying to come up with ideas. That was just me growing up. I think a lot of people find themselves in those shoes, but I was very lucky that that was how I spent most of my time, because college would have not led me in the right direction. I did not enjoy my time in college. Let's see here, guys. We'll see if I can get to some questions. Akabia, I don't know what McAfee's predictions are. I've heard he said 50K, and I'm down on 50K as well for this year. Again, here's the thing, guys. The one case is that if we don't get the ETF, obviously we're not going to see 50K. But if we do, and I have a pretty steadfast belief we will, in that case, I think we are obviously going to see over 50K, especially with the greater economy of things going down. And I still think this year you're going to see Deutsche Bank face some serious economic turmoil. If not, either it be to the point where they need a bailout, or they completely go under if they obviously don't save Deutsche Bank, because they have massive derivatives. They have massive positions in derivatives. Not too much on the books in regards to sound assets. Will G, yeah. I think the biggest thing I didn't like about college, and again, I'll be pretty sound on this, guys, because I think most logical people don't like it, is the amount of censorship on campus. It was during a pretty heated political season, but it was more the fact that people didn't want to have discussions. And for that alone, it doesn't matter if you're talking about things that are controversial or just having friendships and relationships. People are very isolating in an environment where you're not willing to talk about things. That's not the kind of environment or the people you want to surround yourself with. There's an old saying I do like. I don't like much motivational sayings, or I'm usually not good at remembering quotes word for word, but birds of a feather flock together. You got to surround yourself with people that you really like in life, and people who are not only people you enjoy being with, but people who are going to uplift you and lead you in the direction you want to go. That is human nature. If you don't surround yourself with good people, you're not going to go down the right path. And win knowledge, George Soros. Knowledge, you gotta do. I can't think of his name right now. Ty Lopez. I'm a lot more proud of this knowledge instead of this Lamborghini in the background. That'd be awesome to have a Lamborghini behind the studio. Just as a joke for crypto. Maybe like a cardboard cutout. How about that? Abram, thank you very much. Can you please take a look at the Nix platform? Yeah, I'll take a look at it if I can get the chance, man. I appreciate it. So I think the idea of being able to build smart contracts in the English language, Matrix. I know I've heard about Matrix talking about that with the smart contracts. Look, I think it's a noble cause. I think it's awesome. And for example, I work with Unibright that helps build flow diagram smart contracts and has templates. But I'm really curious to see what they've got so far in regards to that, because if you can build something in the English language, it's very subjective. So, for example, in the English language, I can use a variety of words for the same action or the same noun, and you'd have to be very, very specific. So, Tether print another 250 million. No way. Did Tether actually print another 250 million? I almost want to go take a look at the Omni Explorer real quick. Shall we? I don't know. I'm curious. I don't want to get off this page because I feel like we're going to lag. It's pretty. Oh yeah, that's Colin who messaged in there. Yes, I did Praxis instead, guys. That was what I did. Kareem, no, trust me, I was no womanizer, and I'll leave it at this. I didn't want to womanize the women that were at my college. Let's just say that. I'm not so much of a womanizer in a personal sense, but most of the girls weren't my type. Most of them didn't understand why banks are bad, yet they complain about college debt. It's the obliviousness. Okay, that wasn't proper English. I should probably correct myself. The oblivious nature of the average university student. Mark Steven, do you think a financial crisis would push people into crypto, or the crypto market would also crash? Mark, I think I'm going to see what you probably saw in 2008. You're going to see a very, very short periodic term where crypto is going to continue to drop like everything else, because people are looking at it, I think, at the initial phase as a risk-on market. It's something that's risky. But really, what crypto is right now, as it's an early market, it is not a currency market for the most part, to be fair. It is not a store of value. It is and I don't think it's a risk-on market in the long term. What it really is going to be in this case is a hedge. It is a hedge against everything that's traditional, because the whole fact of the matter is people say, oh, everyone just go to cash. If markets collapse, if you have a massive stock correction, or if you have a housing market crash, if all the assets surrounding that base currency, if everyone's flocking back to the currency itself, and people start to lose trust, if they have to start printing more dollars just to keep the economy flowing, the base dollar loses value. And then what's the last thing that you can't print into oblivion that's a currency? Oh, well, either gold or silver or crypto. And I think crypto is going to be much more mainstream and much more of an opportunity to invest, because in that case, again, you have to assess it for yourself. But for the wider audience that hasn't reached it yet, so many people want to get a piece of the action in crypto. Plus, it's much easier to use than gold and silver in transactions. And along with that as well, this market is so new. Gold and silver is already a well-formed, those two commodities alone make up multi-trillions of dollars in value. We're in crypto markets right now that are only valued at 300-something billion, 330 billion at the moment. I mean, you talk about making a Bitcoin ETF, that's going to change the game. Let's see here. Crobat, the reason why Deutsche Bank matters so much is because it is one of the pinnacle banks in Europe. It is a massive bank. And if that were to go downhill, and if you had the continue impending crisis in Italy, and you start knocking over some of the other countries in the PIGS acronym, Portugal, Italy, Ireland, Greece, and Spain, those are the weak legs of the European Union. And if that continues to erode, you have one country break off, or you have other continued financial turmoil, you have Deutsche Bank go down, the domino effect starts. You just need one. It's just like Lehman Brothers back in 2008. You need one serious domino. It's why for the past few years, the general economy, really not all that better than it used to be, but we've been using artificial stimulus and artificially low interest rates, and that's been able to keep things going for a while. But you need one bad apple to crash, and then that's what starts the end of the credit cycle. Mark, glad I could answer that. I'm glad you found it logical. Yes, I have made up a word there. Let's see here. Someone asked about P-Chain. I talked about P-Chain a little bit earlier. I think it's a good project. There's a lot of new protocols coming out, guys, and the technical sense, I remember I liked what I saw with P-Chain, but I could not talk about it at the moment. Let's see here. I gotta get a sip of water. Nobody cares. Yes, I think the Bitcoin ETF is going to bring a lot of money into crypto. And Neo Nerd said, when are you getting a green screen? Most people have told me they don't want the green screen. They tell me they don't want to see a green screen. And if my audience doesn't want it, I won't do it. But I know there's some people who would like the green screen. Maybe in the future we'll get a little bit more of a professional setup when I get moved into my new place. Charlie, I'm going to have to look into credits a little bit deeper. There's a lot of protocols right now, and credits, to me, had a lot of red flags from when I first looked at it. All right, Brad Wade said, time for Litecoin. All right, so I did talk about how I look at Litecoin and its USD valuation. I'll give it this. You know what Litecoin's doing right now, to be fair? It's holding still within the wedge, or excuse me, not the wedge, the descending triangle. Now, this is usually seen as a bearish trend, but at the moment, I won't call it so much a bearish trend so long as it holds above this price range. If it holds above $100, if it can continue holding there, and then we start to get a curve upwards, could be a breakout. But Litecoin, again, is going to have to find support here. If it doesn't, I think it's going to go crashing through, and it's not going to be a pretty case scenario for Litecoin. You can see here in the Bitcoin comparative, the chart, it's below that 200-day and all of the moving averages, guys. We got to be careful in this. Remember, we saw it luckily get a bounce back here. Very lucky in that regard. But we'll have to see if it can hold. And it just doesn't look like it wants to hold at the moment. Kareem, come to Colorado. The girls here are exuberant. They also hate banks. Yes, that's one of my shining qualities for wife material. Has to understand banks and why they're evil. ETF, a stock, has multiple assets companies. Well, Crypto Knights, not all ETFs have to have multiple assets or companies. You can buy, for example, GLD, which is a gold ETF. There's commodity-based ETF. There's obviously, like you said, basketed ETFs for indexes for specific industries, different types of risk-weighted companies. Michael, thank you very much for the comment on the great work. And Gabriel, I hope I answered your question on Litecoin there. Krenar says, Nick, check out Jerry Robinson. He's a Christian libertarian economist, and I think you'd enjoy him. His presentation is that during an economic downturn, crypto would be seen as a safe haven. Krenar, I agree with him on that. Let me just go ahead and do a real quick Google search on him. The name sounds familiar. I want to see if I can... Oh, God, this probably isn't good to do during the stream, but... Interesting. I've never seen him before. I'll have to look... He's a comic book artist as well. Maybe I'm getting the wrong one here. Jerry Robinson seems like it might be a generic name, but Krenar, tell me if that's the right one. And if it is, I'll look into him later on tonight. Just want to make sure the stream runs smooth here. Alrighty. Andrew V. Hey, Nick, sorry I'm late. It's no problem, man. Thanks for the knowledge as always. Wind manipulation video part 2. Andrew, I think the next thing we're going to be covering is not so much manipulation. We're going to be talking about the OTC markets. So if that can't get done, then yes, we'll probably do market manipulation 2.0. But we talked about most of the things. I think the last thing to talk about is like leverage trading and how some traders use that and the tactics of market manipulation in sync. Georgie, this is a good question. The developers and engineers involved in developing blockchain, is this a profitable career for them as opposed to an industry job, say, in cutting edge technology like AI? Yes, Georgie, because blockchain is cutting edge right now as much as Bitcoin's been around since 2009. The fact of the matter is, with all the new ICOs and all the new types and use cases for blockchain and distributed ledger technology, the opportunity to work as a blockchain developer, if you are a specific blockchain or smart contract developer, you will get a job paying $250,000 US, benefits included, sometimes living expenses paid for. It is just absolutely insane. It's pretty much what it was equivalently. It is the equivalent of what it was like to be a mobile phone app developer, like back a few years ago. So hopefully that puts things into perspective. It's probably just as high in demand for AI. AI. If you're a really, really good AI like developer, if you understand AI to its core, you have like a master's degree, that they're pretty high in demand as well. You'll get a job. But both of them require a pretty high level of knowledge and skill. Nose has been running today. Eduardo likes it to keep it classy. I'm thinking that most people don't want to see the green screen. Ben, I'm thinking this year we're going to see a Bitcoin ETF, but there's no guarantee. SEC opened the gates to talk about it again. Videsh, after the protocol wars, what's next? The DApp wars. I think after that, it's going to be a currency war. You're going to see a lot of cryptocurrencies emerge. I hope to build that peer-to-peer digital currency. It's not going to be an ICO, but I'm definitely... Oh, Nathan, I apologize to Mr. Super Chat. Where do you see Bitcoin going over the next few days? Possibly testing, just take a look here. I would love to see it keep moving higher, but we're not seeing any big volume. I think we might have an opportunity, guys, to test at 8,000, but you know what I feel is going to happen? We're going to probably have a rollover, and it's going to be the 6th of the 6th of 2018 where we see the bottom come in, boys. Might be the case every month. It's been the 6th. Who knows? That's been where we've seen every bottom and reversal, every bottom and top come in for Bitcoin. All right, let's see here real quick. Nick, is Litecoin dead? No, I don't, not yet. The thing is, Charlie Lee is pretty much out of the project from what I know. Again, I could be wrong on that. I don't want to make any claims that I don't know about. And also, the chat feed isn't coming through, guys. Am I coming through clear on the stream? Let me check real quick. I'm not getting any more chat updates. I want to make sure I'm going good on the stream here, guys. Let me go ahead and reopen and restream. Am I coming through clear on the stream, everyone? Oh, okay, works here. Awesome. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, my restream chat wasn't working. Oh, okay, we got a donation. Let's see here real quick. Raphael, thoughts on Wabi? Look at this MACD cross. We'll take a look at Wabi real quick, Raphael. Wabi BTC. Interesting to get such a, well, actually a nice decent amount of volume coming in here, but it seems more like anything it got to triple bottom here. You got a bottom over here, bottom over here. I like that you saw the volume come in on these dips down here. Very nice to see. Nice to see some buying in as well over here as well. Jose Castro, hey Nick, thanks for the live stream and all the great daily content. Jose, pleasure to do it, my friend. I love doing it. Glad to hear the stream's been working good as well, guys. I apologize. I think my stream or my chat was just not working for some reason. Let's see here. I would say, you know, nobody cares. I don't know if the gold ETF specifically created to drain demand for physical. I understand that sometimes the reserves are not always backed up, but I think it was more of a convenience because a lot of people don't want to hold on to their gold. They want to trade or have ownership of it though. So I don't know. Might have to see. Okay, John, I apologize for that miscomment. I guess he is still active with Litecoin. I apologize. I don't mean to make any comments that I don't know about. Sadhu said, hi Nick, I'm looking at the DAV ICO and it looks promising. It's based on the autonomous industry. What is your thoughts? Do you think Sadhu, I don't know too much about DAV. I've looked into a lot of ICOs recently, but I don't know too much on DAV, to be fair. So I'll have to check into it. Appreciate the share. EU GDPR has cleared my email inbox. I love it. Monkeytron, that's good, man. Hey, if it means less spam in the emails, I think I definitely could settle for some GDPR in the US. Cypherix, your thoughts on Zencash? I like Zencash. We did the interview with Zencash's team. They got a lot of interesting stuff. I like how they're working together with Cardano to try to build a governance model and how they're focusing on being more than just a currency, which is really, really good. InCan looks interesting as well. Same 400 or Save 400. I saw you had asked about that. Jack, in regards to BAT, I haven't taken a look at BAT in a while. Oops, BAT BTC. Oops, there we go. All right, let's take a look here. Let's get it on Bittrex. Yeah, it just keeps on. It generally is topping out every time at 6,000 Satoshis. I mean, it depends. I have to go check the supply numbers on it, but I like that it's bounced off the 500-day, or the, sorry, 500-day, what am I talking about? The 200-day moving average here. Looks like it could be nice for a little pop-up if we get altcoins bouncing, but, you know, I wouldn't make a trade on this right now at the moment. I've seen this at much cheaper levels, obviously. December it was dirt cheap back there, as well as back here in March. Theta just listed on Binance and it's on TradingView now. Your thoughts? Crypto Angels. You know, I still haven't looked into Theta. I got a request from some active members in the Discord to look into it, but the thing about Theta right now is it's too much price action for me to, or sorry, not so much too much price action, but I need to look into it more before I really make stances. I guess they only have the API for Binance here. Definitely was thinking about making a trade down here today, but it's gone up a lot from the Binance listing, so I think I'm going to be careful on this one. Let's see here. Joshua, I've heard about Turnio. I want to look back into it today, but many people have been talking to me about Turnio, and there's so many protocols coming out. Spaced out. Let's take a look at sub here, sub ETC. Let's take a look here at the daily. Daily for sub looks nice. We got the engulfing candle here, so we take. I'm trying to get a zoomed out of the chart. Okay, well I'm just gonna keep it here so you can see the candles separate. Yeah, we got the engulfing candle here closing on the day, the previous day of sell-off. Volume's been holding nice and steady here. Looks like, it might be a little bit on Binance, a little bit of market maker volume, but it's not bad. You can enjoy it while it lasts and stuff, and then you can. I think it'd be good to see if it can get above the 21-day moving average, and if that's the case, I think this will continue. Again, it's more of a question as to whether or not Bitcoin's going to hold, but as you all know, I've got a position in sub. Still like this one long term. Really love the project and what's going on with the node and everything. So I'm actually gonna. I still got to do a video soon showing you guys trying it out. But there's so many awesome little success stories. Same with Oyster Pearl today as well, which is interesting. But I like sub long term, guys. You guys know that. It's my personal opinion that you guys got to look into it for yourself. Chewy Orange, what's up, bro? New to the stream. I want to buy a coin, but I don't know which one has a good entry point. Which coin do you recommend? Chewy, I appreciate the donation. I can't tell you specifically what to get into, but if you go through, tomorrow I'm going to be doing my top 3 coins for June. You can take a look at those, do some research, see if you find anything that you like, but can't give you any specific recommendations, my friend. I apologize about that. But I always tell people again, find altcoins at a good, cheap price, good fundamentals, You need a little bit of sense of hype in between the projects as well. It's obviously what drives a lot of the traders and speculators in the market. But let's see. Josh, no, I haven't taken a look at Theta. I'll take a look at it soon, though. I'll write that down. All right. Mehmed, nice to have you in here. Good morning to you, my friend. All right. I think we might try for music here in a few minutes. Have we had any lagging, guys? I'm curious. Thoughts on Elastos? Elastos is interesting, Hollywood Hill. I've been keeping my eye on it. It has done very, very nice over the past few months. Connor, yes, my brother has been ecstatic about Seal Network. He loves the use cases of it and the NFC tech. Just seems like it's nice that they're working with Deloitte, but I need to see them. I need to see them with more development and actually to outweigh a lot of the other competition, because there's a few other competitors doing a lot of the same stuff. Let's see here. Nick, here's the thing. I understand people have very controversial opinions on EOS. I think it'll be interesting to see, a big protocol with a lot of community around it, picking up delegated proof of stake, going through and doing the incubator program. They already have a lot of projects coming on at launch from what I've heard. So lots of good stuff coming for them. We'll have to see if they can actually deliver. But let's see here. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, Matt Jacks, we took a look at nulls. We haven't taken a look at Icon and EOS. We can take a look at that real quick. I'll go ahead and take a look at EOS. EOS BTC. We've got less than 2 days, guys, before mainnet hits, and we've been getting sideways price action. Getting a lot of big volume candles coming in. People staking up before the mainnet launch. We'll have to see. Oh, this is on Bitfinex. Let's see what Binance is doing. Binance is pretty steady. I guess that's just on Bitfinex, but yeah, got some periods where big buyers are coming in. We'll have to see if it gets any serious traction going into the last few hours. I don't think you're going to see much of a run up to mainnet, guys. Most people knew that this was coming for some time. Videsh, I'm pretty sure that Substratum, again, they're always working towards. Again, I can't keep up with it 24/7, but I know that they're working towards a variety of systems to make sure people don't misuse the network. There's vetting processes on the Substratum network. Rob Fell, I like GDPR. Really surprised to see out of all countries, Europe, or sorry, no, oh my gosh, terrible. And out of any area in the world, to have European nations coming together and calling for something like GDPR is quite shocking. That to me is something I would have never expected. Mike Law says, hi Nick, with all the introductions of USD pairs taking formation, can you see less of a use for Bitcoin in the future? Do you think this could reduce the value of Bitcoin long term? Mike, I don't think so. I think Bitcoin is still the entry that so many people are going to get into as their first cryptocurrency. And I think Bitcoin, again, not only has a fighting chance to be a relatively scalable peer-to-peer digital currency long term, but more than anything, it's going to be seen as a digital store of value in the future when it's more formed. It's more than anything seen as a hedging device against the traditional, different markets, whether it be equities like stocks or homes and all kinds of stuff. It's pretty much a hedge against traditional markets and currencies. Sorry guys if the streams dropped. My apologies. Mr. Chi said less lag without music. Connor, no problem. Glad I can answer your question. Phone keeps going off. Your stand on Nano, Lewis? I think Nano right now, much like a lot of altcoins, are definitely at much better levels than they were in December. But I'll have to see if Nano can stand out as DAG technology, because there's a lot of other new DAGs coming out. Really impressive stuff. We'll have to see. I still like Nano. I don't have anything negative against it. Let's see. Hollywood. Oh, speaking of Nano, Hollywood Hills asked, "Is Nano still a good investment?" Guys, I can't tell you directly. I know you guys would love for me to just be your financial advisor, but I can't tell you guys directly. I will say I do like again, with a lot of these altcoins, guys, to have the engulfing candle in price. I mean, that's a nice sign, but we'll have to see if it really takes off over the next few days. We might have a little bit more ways to go if Bitcoin turns back over, but it's a matter of if we get the volume in Bitcoin. Jonathan, thank you very much for the stream chat donation. I appreciate it. The super chat. I appreciate it. Very kind of you, my friend. Let's see here. Okay, I got people asking me about VeChain. I'm gonna try to get it out, guys. But the thing is, VeChain. The problem is right now is that I have to go through a fundamental analysis just like I do with every other project, and there's so many other projects coming out of the pipeline, guys, that I want to talk about on this channel. It's hard to balance it. That mixed in with daily updates, and then obviously the OTC video and a lot of other stuff that people want to see. So I'll see if I can fit it in. Jamie brings up a good point, guys. We should get some more in-depth questions. Let's get some meaningful questions, some thought-provoking questions. Get me on a rant. Just kidding. Let's see here. Hi Nick, thoughts on Redcoin? Martin, I think Redcoin's a dead coin, in my opinion. But I've thought that and many other crap coins have been left behind in the dust for a while, in my opinion. OTC videos priority. That's fire. I agree with you on that. Woodsman. It's funny. Let's see here. Well, Monkeytron, it's a little bit different in regards to a fork versus the launch of mainnet. So when you're forking a currency versus mainnet, it happens at a specific block. I mean, actually, to be fair, it's not too drastically different because you do have set time periods where it's going to happen. It's just that with EOS, it's happening at a specific time period. In the case of a hard fork, you're going to fork the network and create a split. You're obviously going to do that at a specific block. You take a snapshot of the blockchain, see who owns what, and then you move from there. Danny H said, Nick, I think you're wrong on Bitcoin. It'll only go to 10K max. Hey, Danny, I respect your opinion on that. I think it would probably only go to 10K max if we don't get a Bitcoin ETF. If that doesn't happen in the next few months, my whole kind of bet kind of falls through the water in that sense. But I think this year you're going to see one. If it doesn't, obviously, like the moment, if it gets towards the last month and it's like, there's no Bitcoin ETF, it's like, oh, yeah, it's probably not going to happen. Or if the SEC knocks down the topic of a Bitcoin ETF. But I think it'll be the one paradigm to really get this to start trucking back up again over the summer if we get an ETF announcement or if we get rumors. Let's see here. That's good to hear, JPG Whistler, that China, Singapore, and Dubai are developing blockchain schools. I heard about that in Dubai. There's a lot of other organizations working to get blockchain mainstream. The government there is really big on it. Josh Lumen, I'm happy you learned about John Pilger. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his name right. I never learned how to pronounce his last name, but I do love his content. I've been watching a lot of his stuff, been reading his books. Or not too, I'll be fair, not too much active on the books. I've read through a few segments, a few quotations from his books, but his work is amazing. Really genuine guy, knows his stuff, keeps it real, doesn't oversell you, just really kind of tells you about what's going on in the world of banking. I think that's what people need to spend some time learning about. It's not all just, an opportunity to invest or make money in crypto. This technology has so much potential. Videsh, let's get controversial. UB or Unibright versus Neblio. Who wins? Well, Videsh, they don't have to exactly compete. I could see them being a great partnership. That would be cool to get possibly Unibright and Neblio working together, because I think any protocol would benefit from Unibright. It's the sense of having a platform where you can easily build smart contracts and then execute on these protocols, these blockchains. And I would maybe like to see, who knows, maybe Unibright could work with Neblio. Maybe we could possibly get something like that going. I'll definitely consider reaching out to him. I don't think there should be a war. I think we should work together. That's the thing. Nick, I don't think there'll be one coin to rule them all, but you'll have a lot of really good functioning peer-to-peer digital currencies and protocols in the future. Guts G, thank you very much. I'm glad you like the uniform. Pablo, yes, well, hopefully we'll do something funny for 300K. I'll see if I can get something out by tomorrow or the day after. I'm sorry the notification bell isn't working there. Interesting stuff. Mars Landing. P-Chain launched at a 4 times on IDEX. Thoughts? I have to see if they can get some other exchange listings. I think that's the cool thing about IDEX is it does give people an opportunity to get these things still relatively early, because I know 4x sounds like crazy, but pre-sale multipliers can go much higher when it gets towards larger exchanges. Anthony, the reason why I think a Bitcoin ETF is coming is because it's going to be the ultimate hedge when markets crash, when markets actually have a correction. And I think it's going to happen. People know it's going to happen very, very quick whenever it does happen, sometime this year. Or sometime this year, again, push comes to shove, I think the longest case scenario is in early 2019, but I think it's going to happen this summer. Yeah, ADA is a good project. I wouldn't disagree with that. Simone, check out how Qlink will enable VPN sharing on mobile devices. Man, this coin is a steal. Do you have any rules for taking profits that you can share? Yeah, I mean, well, the thing about it is I usually walk into trades knowing that, this could possibly run out. And what I do is I usually take 50%. I'll have them at certain levels, and I just let my runners ride. And then I raise the stop up. Generally, let's say, for example, if I've 100x, there's like a part of my position I'm still holding on 100x. And what I'll do is I'll raise my stop up 10% below generally to where I think it could have a pullback, but not enough to where it'll trigger it, just enough to where it's like, okay, this is actually a correction. Like, this is getting to the point where if it's getting down to this price range, I want to get a stop because it's probably going to keep on correcting. And it depends on how volatile you think the cryptocurrency is. Alec, even if we become a global civilization, currency doesn't have... That's kind of... some people believe that we need a one-world currency, but we really don't. We can have all different types of means of exchange and value, and I think if we build a global civilization, we definitely don't want something that's centrally controlled or is one currency, because if you have one global currency and that currency fails, looks like you don't really have a means of exchange between one another now, do you? That's the thing that people would be worried about. You need different competing currencies and different technology and things that can work in sync with one another. All right, I'm going to scroll through here. Monkeytron, I'm glad you agree with me and don't think I'm crazy. The ETF is necessary for the next bull run. Nick, your work is appreciated by so many people all over the world. Monopoly money, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Very kind of you to say. I almost want to see if we can get some music playing here. Myself, yes, I think it's going to disrupt central banking. The reason why is because central banks can't shut it down. If you really think about it, cryptocurrencies cannot be shut down. That's the beautiful thing about Bitcoin, is censorship resistance. You can make Bitcoin illegal. You can make it as easy to use as possible, whatever it is. Doesn't matter what side you take. If I can go out and get Bitcoin in some way, shape, or form, especially if there's privacy features added, no matter if it's private or not, if it's on a public ledger, no one in the world at any given moment can stop me from sending a transaction to your wallet. There is no government, no corporate entity, no individual, no collective group of any ideology or any thought process that can stop that. So long as the internet runs and so long as the Bitcoin network is secured by miners and nodes. Like, how awesome is that? That is just the beauty of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, is that it is something that's trustless and it is censorship resistant. And that is the biggest component of it. I think Richard Hart really drills that in, and I love that about him, is he gets the point here. It's censorship resistance. Rex, I agree with you. I think the financial crisis that's impending is going to definitely be the draw for Bitcoin to 50K. Again, it's a hedge, guys. It's a hedge. But if Bitcoin reaches 50K, I'm going to be very, very urgent to go work on my peer-to-peer digital currency, because I don't think Bitcoin can fully scale to peer-to-peer digital currency, or at least work as something that the whole world can use on a day-to-day basis. It's a little tad bit difficult in some regards. But it's not perfect, but then again, a lot of other things aren't perfect in this world. All right, gotta take a sip of water here. Yeah, Damien, so this is an important thing. So what's the difference between a Bitcoin ETF and blockchain ETFs? A Bitcoin ETF would be like if you own one share of an ETF, you own some partial amount of Bitcoin. Okay? So there's probably Bitcoin in reserves behind those Bitcoin ETFs, or at least it's a ETF that's weighted to an index. And in regards to blockchain ETFs, there are some blockchain ETFs right now, but they're not really blockchain ETFs. In the future, you're going to have ETFs where it would be like owning ownership in 5 or 10 coins of the top 5 or 10 protocols, like blockchain enterprise protocols. And in today's world, though, blockchain ETFs are like major companies like Nvidia or other tech companies like IBM. Yeah, I think it's funny, guys. I think something's happening on YouTube's end or on Twitch in the sense of the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and I have to reopen Restream. This keeps dropping in and out, interestingly enough. All right, back on here on Restream. Awesome stuff. See if the chat feed comes back in. But yeah, so anyways, yeah, I think you're gonna need the ETF, and the fact of the matter is you're also gonna get a lot of. The nice thing about it, the thing that really gets me excited, is if there's gonna be a Bitcoin ETF, what's to stop an Ethereum ETF? What's to stop a top 5 crypto ETF? What's to stop a protocol or enterprise platform ETF? What's to stop, ERC20 token ETFs? I mean, you could just go on and on and on. I think it's going to attract so much money. It's going to make it a very, very large market. And from there, we can get hopefully close to mainstream adoption of some sort. Andy Corn, I disagree. I don't think we'll have one currency to rule them all, but we will have some that definitely outweigh others. I have no doubt. And we're going to filter out a lot of these crappy cryptocurrencies, I think, in the long term. Kevin, so Kevin says, I can very easily prove that Bitcoin has benefited from the rise in traditional markets. It's from the rise in traditional markets, but you cannot prove that it is a hedge against traditional markets. Kevin, I don't think it's so much about going to prove it, but there's a reason I have an opinion on that. If you think about it in a fundamental sense, so think about it in the stepping stones here against hedging against the traditional system. Okay, let's say that we're on a risk-on mode, okay? So we believe that everything's going good. Look, the punch bowl's full. The party's going good. We're having a great time. Everything's just euphoric. Oh, the markets, oh, they're so good. The economy looks so good. Buy up properties. Buy up stock. Buy up every asset you can because these are cash-producing assets. Let's just pick them up, all right? We're doing good. It's party time. There's no, monetary policy's great. Interest rates low. Money's cheap. Print that money, take off my risky assets, let me lend it out. Oh wait, actually no, I'm not going to lend out that money. I'm a bank and I want to actually go out and put it into more assets because that's cash producing and I don't have to employ anyone and it's yeah, okay, so I don't want to deal with that. Risk on. Okay, market corrects, things go the other way. Well, I'm obviously going to move my cash, or I'm going to move out of those assets into cash, okay? Let's say that things just are sort of bad, okay? If things are sort of bad, then it's like, okay, I just stay in cash for a while, wait for the market to correct, and then I go back to my assets, right? Well, what if it isn't just sort of bad? What if things get really bad? And you're like, okay, we're looking at like '08 kind of stuff here. Banks are starting to default, things are getting a little unstable, but currency's still pretty good, Well, then what I'd probably do is go into gold or into silver or something that kind of hedges against the market. What if things get really bad, though, and I'm still holding a lot of my cash, though, and I don't want to put everything in gold and silver? Well, what system in the world, especially if my currency is becoming unstable, if they're printing a lot of it and it starts to hyperinflate, or, for example, they drop interest rates as low as possible and they just can't drop them anymore, or they're going to have to go to negative interest rates, and people just stop taking the currency serious altogether and start losing faith in it, well, what's the next best thing to go to in that point? If things really do get that bad, which could they? Possibly. I don't know if they're going to this year. But what if that happens? What else are you going to go to? Is the whole world just going to go over to gold and silver, something that's not easy to, it is definitely divisible, but you can't break down gold very easily. It's tangible, but it's not easy to do commerce with. Most people don't want tangible means of transaction. They want something that's digital. Well, you get this whole new market of emerging cryptocurrencies that aren't a multi-trillion-dollar market, that are sitting at $330 billion and have a wide range of utility, have easy cross-border payments, easy confirmations, don't require a bank or a central bank to manage the monetary policy of that money. I would put my bet on cryptocurrency in that regard. I think it'd be a wonderful, wonderful hedge against traditional markets, in the sense of storing your savings, in a sense, against that system. I don't think it's a store of value, and gold wasn't for a very long time. Gold has been able to hold above its, for the most part, its mining production cost, and then along with that as well, if you held gold all these years, yes, you probably held your dollar value comparative, if you compare it to inflation. But it has, just like silver, periods of, and as well as Bitcoin and cryptos, massive periods of volatility, and speculative periods. They're very speculative assets. So gold itself isn't always a store of value. That's the big thing I always try to draw it to people, because people always push that with gold and silver. Anyways, I rambled on about that long enough. I'm going to scroll down here because I'm going to probably get left behind rambling on about that. Rex, think about it. There's no market for gold right now. Gold's a $7 trillion market. I can't go to CVS or Walmart or, to the bar and go pay in gold. Bitcoin, however, if they make it private, the government can stop it, but who's going to really stop them? Again, if you can keep it private in that sense, if they add ZK snarks or something, you could have relatively private transactions with Bitcoin. I don't think they'd shut it down. Debbie said, yeah, we're trying our best in regards to Unibright with exchanges. I'll let you guys, of course, know on the channel ASAP when we get the news. Well, Kevin, so you're saying you can prove that Bitcoin has benefited from the rise in Oh, I get what you're saying, Kevin. So you're saying as traditional markets have risen, you've seen Bitcoin rise as well. And I know a lot of people compare that. I know exactly what chart you're talking about. You're talking about comparing like the NASDAQ and all the major indices next to Bitcoin. If I'm getting that correct, if I'm wrong, might not be stalemating your argument properly. But I've seen some people talk about as Bitcoin's gone down, we've seen traditional markets drop, and when we've seen Bitcoin go up, traditional markets go up. That's in the view of a risk-on asset. And I don't think, as much as some people have that viewpoint, look, guys, you're going to find correlations in this stuff. The reason the stock market's been going up is not so much because crypto has been going up, in my opinion. The story doesn't mold very well. If crypto is going up, something that's outside of the traditional, financial system, that doesn't seem like a good correlation. Why both things have gone up is, one, crypto's obviously gone much more mainstream this year. In the sense of traditional markets, we had a massive tax cut in the United States. We've had deregulation. And along with that as well, we've still had easy Fed monetary policy. We're rising interest rates, but not fast enough to really weigh in on all the positive stuff we just did, which is leading a lot of money to come back into the U.S. and jump straight into the stock market through stock buybacks. Apple has a ton of money. They just hit they had their greatest week, I think, since 2011 a few weeks back, because did they reveal a great new set of iPhone sales? No, they actually missed. Did they reveal a great new product? No. What did they do then? Well, they mentioned that they're going to do, not trillions, hundreds of billions of dollars in stock buybacks and extra dividends. So that's what they're doing with their freed up capital. So again, we can disagree on it, but I appreciate that you enjoyed that I answered it, Kevin. I'm not arguing you in that sense, but just putting my opinion out there on it. I think that's trying to get my point more clear, I guess. Jay, this is a family-friendly stream. No, thank you. Data your content is awesome. I think that FUD Nation YouTuber copies your content. I've seen him like once. I don't really know much about him, but if he does, I mean, I think people can always talk about the same stuff, to be fair. We'll have to see, though. I don't know. I haven't checked him out that much. Kernar, that rant just made me want to go 100x leverage. Don't do that, Kernar. Never go 100x. Thoughts on Genesis Vision and Omnitude? I've heard about Omnitude. I don't know much on it, though. Genesis Vision, some people have been talking about it. I don't know much about the fundamentals on either, to be fair. Well, I apologize on that. A little bit out of my ballpark. Jace, I think you're right on 2 out of 3 of those things. The thing about the student loan bubble, the thing is people can't default on their student loans. This is one thing that people don't understand. I've heard a lot of people mention, because it is a bubble in a sense, yes, but it doesn't look like it's going to be popping. If anything, we're going to have to literally have a massive era of debt forgiveness, and there's going to be massive reform to student loans. I don't think as much kids are going to college right now should not be going. Not in today's world. It's becoming worth less and less. And if you have everyone get a college degree, it becomes even worth less. It becomes worth even less than what it already is right now. I think the thing about, I don't want to rant on here, but student loans, the thing about student loans is I just don't think, if you're thinking about it like an investment, you're making an investment in your education. You should not be spending 10, 20 grand a year, maybe even more than that, going into university and studying something that you might not want to do in the future. I see a lot of people doing that. I'm going into computer science because it might mean a good wage for me, or I'm doing it to empower myself, or I think I might like this, or I'm going into a degree maybe that isn't going to have any jobs or pay well, or isn't something, maybe something I'm passionate about, but there's no jobs out there for me, and I can't afford not to have a job. All that seems kind of silly, but that's what's going on in the mass. Like there's, for example, like for social sciences, I learned last year, a computer scientist showed me the chart, and out of all the major categories, like in college, like different majors and everything, they have different focus points, they had social sciences. And there's 300,000 kids each year that are graduating. The graduating class, 300,000, are going into social sciences, psychology, things like gender studies, all the kind of wishy-washy controversial stuff. Anyways, 300,000. And there was less than 30,000 jobs. Most of them were internships. Most didn't pay very well. So I don't know. I might be kind of far-fetched. Maybe I'm a little too opinionated, and I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure that's a reason why we have such a debt crisis, and we have a lot of kids coming out with so much debt, and they can't seem to find an income to pay for all the debt. You know, it's really literally robbing an entire generation of their financial sovereignty. That's what debt does. That's the thing. It's supposed to linger with you, and they charge interest. Let's see here. Jace, you're right. QE has put in a lot of currency into the economy, but a lot of it as well has been lent out fraction of the reserve through fractional reserve lending, and along with that as well, you've just got money not going into the real economy, it's going into asset markets. That's the biggest issue. Dasfire, I don't mean to be mean if you have a master's. Well, here's the thing: you got a master's degree in psychology. I don't think so much psychology is bad. It's tossed into the social sciences. There's a lot of things in the social sciences I don't like. I love psychology. In fact, I've a lot of friends doing psychology. In regards to that though, you got a master's degree, which is much better. Most people go and trying to get their bachelor's, and that's usually not enough. So that's good you got your master's on that. No insult there, I didn't mean it. STEM majors and pre-med are the only reasons to go to college. Kareem, I can definitely agree for the most part. I think that business and finance, you really need to make use of connections, and you need to also be very active to stand out for the most part. Monkeytron, no, I didn't learn how to code. I learned SQL, but that's not really programming, but just general code. I'm glad you agree with me, Daz. Yeah, I think that's the thing. You got to go in. I think you got to go ahead and. Well, the thing is, what's nice, Daz, is if you're a master's in psychology, you probably understand these markets pretty well, don't you? You got to understand psychology to be good at trading or investing. You got to understand human emotion and cycles of human emotion, the 5 steps of grieving. Funky Fresh, the reason for the soup? Well, I like to do it from time to time, but we're close to 300,000 subscribers on the channel, so I thought I'd do that. Oh, jeez, crypto bitch. Nicholas, thanks for your existence. You're welcome, crypto bitch. That's good, Daz. Good to hear you understand some of it. Devison, I'm assuming you're asking me what I used to do at my old startup job or maybe my advisory roles, but in regards to my startup job, I was working out in Palo Alto for a while for a really cool emerging startup. I was doing marketing, media content, really, really nice project. Yeah, Akabe, I would say that's good. You're studying not only finance, but I would recommend learning a little bit about computer science if you're going to continue down a path of finance, because, man, it's becoming very automated. It's very interesting. We're turning what was originally such a human market, circulating money and buying this and selling that, into something that's very automated, which is very fascinating. It's going to be a market of bots trading amongst one another. Interesting stuff. But yeah, I think AI generally, I think people get very doomsdayish with AI. Yes, AI is going to compromise a lot of jobs, or it's going to comprise of a lot of the, I would say a lot of the newer jobs that would have originally come to the economy. But there's still going to be things that humans are always going to have to do. And I think, if anything, we're kind of going to, I don't know if you're going to have UBI or something like that, but we're going to have to, more than anything, find ways to give humans more purpose in this world. That's the big issue right now that I don't think people talk about when we talk about the far kind of things like depression, anxiety. Why do people feel displaced? I think it's because men and women generally, they find their purpose in life from what they do in a lot of cases. It used to be, when you were a young boy or something, you grew up under your dad. He worked at the steel mill. You were gonna go work there as well, and it was your job. You worked blue collar. You were hardworking. You had an income. You had stability. And now it's just not like that. It's a very, very different picture. It's the wild, wild west of building your future. You know, how do you do that in a world where things are changing every 5 minutes? I think we all understand what that feels like in crypto. I'll have to see what it does, though. I think it's just going to be a matter of people finding multiple income streams and, for example, finding ways where you can make passive income of some sort. And then maybe you'll get something like UBI. I don't know if that's going to really take off. We'll have to see. Cody, I don't really care for Bitcoin private. It's nothing unique, in my opinion. Brian, thank you very much. No, I'm not into real estate. I'm going to be, I do love looking at real estate from time to time, and I appreciate, but I thank you for agreeing in regards to the purpose aspect. I think that matters. But in regards to real estate specifically, Cranton, thank you very much. No, I haven't bought any real estate yet. I'm going to be buying my first piece of real estate soon. I'm hoping that we get a correction in the housing market before I buy it. But crypto bitch, if Bitcoin won't reach 30K at least this year, I will eat my thing live on your channel. Just saying. Did we get McAfee on here? It's McAfee's alias. Oh god. Shah said, AI will never be able to write nor perform a song like Amos Lee. Yeah, that's a good point. Davison said with 300,000 subscribers, we could do a very serious blockchain project. Yeah, that's very true, Davison. I'm hoping, hopefully, if the currency takes off. Here's the thing. I don't want to do an ICO. I don't want to sell you guys on anything. But if I do build my peer-to-peer digital currency, and if it's well built, I hope you guys would support me there. That would be nice. So, if you guys would like to contribute, that would always be nice. But yes, I agree. College has become more of an experience you're paying for. I hate to be kind of the generic, anti-college. Yes, I think our motivational speakers talked about it enough already. But I'm telling you guys, it really is, for most people, I'd say more than anything, I'm not saying college can't be valuable, but before you dash into it, no pun intended, before you really jump into college and start spending tens of thousands of dollars, don't feel, unless you really have to be there for the experience. If you're young and you're just like, look, I want to go to college for an education, make sure you know you're going to get your investment worth. View it like you're investing in a cryptocurrency, that there's going to be something out of it that pays off. Pays off doing all of that time that you're committing to college and all the money you're investing into it. You don't want to waste a lot of time and money. Time is your most valuable asset, but you don't want to get swamped in debt either. Valix, greetings from Sweden. What do you think of Neo? Valexi, I think Neo's still a good protocol. They just have been slow to bring out any new serious developments, and because of that, I think you're going to see Neo, like a few other protocols, still continue to drop downwards over time. I think it's going to go down to around 400,000 sats, so we've got a little bit of ways to go on that. Oh, Crypto Knights. So you're sorry, I didn't see if you'd messaged this. Talking about my favorite tech stock. Ooh, it's not crypto. If it ain't crypto or blockchain, it's not innovative. But oh man, I was big on semiconductors and solar companies for a while, but it depends on your range of tech. I liked Canadian solar for a while. Now again, no, not financial advice. Now we're stepping into stocks. That's a whole different ballpark, I guess, in a sense. But again, not financial advice, but I loved solar stocks. I loved doing semiconductors, but they're overextended right now. Too much of a run up at the moment. Okay, Cody. Look, I think that you could add. I was saying you could add ZK snarks as a preliminary measure, but in most cases, people don't care to have private transactions on Bitcoin. It'd only be if it's necessary. And along with that as well, it doesn't make it unique, because there's a lot of coins that have forked off of Bitcoin that use ZK snarks that just don't use the brand. You know, that's what I mean by it. I just don't think Rhett, especially now that he's left the project, it just, the whole story of Bitcoin private, it's funny because if you learn about the origins, he got the idea from Richard Hart. That's the thing that people don't realize. And you should go back and watch Richard's video where he literally told him he should just go fork off the Bitcoin network and go create his own coin. And Rhett's just sitting there, and you can almost see the light bulb just ding over his head. It was quite funny. And I don't mean to insult you, Cody. If you have some Bitcoin private, I don't mean to say anything negative about it, but I don't really care too much for the fork, to be fair. So that's just my opinion. AI won't be able to shill coins with silly stuff like eating their own body parts unless the price reaches somewhere. I don't know. You can make a McAfee bot. Krenar, I've heard Data uses coupons, then returns for full price. Buy low, sell high. DeBidley, thank you very much for giving the subscribe and like reminder. I appreciate it if you guys could show the love. Hollywood Hill, we just talked about Neo. Hopefully you caught it. Let's see here. Nick, that sounds like a good cause. I wonder if blockchain can help in that regard. Okay, I'm just going to start calling you CB. I'm not going to be saying your name. But, oh crap, it just scrolled me down. Oh, 1 second. CB said, I'm launching an ICO named... Okay, I'm not going to say that. Hopefully we'll be the best peer-to-peer project around here. All right, we'll get the Midnight Sax playing here in a second, guys. I'm just worried about the connection dropping. If we've had any lag, I'm not going to do it. But Crypto Knights brought up First Solar. Yeah, I liked First Solar for a while. Traded that around. I used to trade the solar stocks like crazy. Kranthi, hi Nick. Other than protocols and falls, which sector will you recommend? Have you had a chance to look into MetaHash? If so, comment on it. Kranthi, I apologize. I haven't looked into MetaHash. But really, the protocols are the focus right now. After that, it's going to be peer-to-peer digital currency, because you're going to have the Bitcoin ETF, obviously, which is obviously hoping to objectively be peer-to-peer digital cash. But outside of that, you're also going to see a massive rise in that case of competing peer-to-peer digital currencies with currency instability if we have an economic recession. I think you're going to get it with the euro if Italy has continuing issues, and then Greece will probably fall, and then you have Deutsche Bank, and oh, that's an ugly mess still brewing under the seams. Oh, RG is complaining about it, Australia. Oh, I know the housing market's bad in Australia. I hope you're not near Sydney. And if you are in Sydney, I hope you've already had a property that's been gaining value, and hopefully you can sell it and move on from there and get something cheaper. Oh, man. And, man, Sydney was bad. Oof. I've loved Sydney. It was beautiful. Great place. I can understand why the properties would be expensive. But yeah, the mass amount of money that's flown there, the people moving and stuff, it's just been driving up the property values like crazy. Oh, crypto, no, I will not shill TRX. Well, Lead, that's interesting that 1 true USD equaled 1 Bitcoin at one point. I don't know how that happened. Alright, looks like my... I swear my restream keeps jumping out my chat for some reason. I want to make sure to chat with you guys. We'll probably wrap this up, guys, and hop on over to Discord here in just a few minutes, probably around 10 o'clock. But let's see here. Oh, we got a donation. Can you tell us something about what Stellar, where Stellar is going? I've invested a lot in that project, and I don't know what to say about long term. Any thoughts? I haven't kept up with it, crypto. I mean, I know they're having, I think, a few of their first ICOs off the platform recently, or at least a few projects coming off of it. But I haven't been keeping up with Stellar, to be fair. Got to be completely transparent on that. Shah said crypto up, property down equals happy for me. Yeah, I'm a buyer. I'm coming in late to the party, and that's a good thing, because you want to come in when things start to drop. That face when you can't afford to buy you can't afford to buy a proper apartment in Sydney. Andrew, I feel you on that, man. Love to go visit Sydney, but they need those property values to go down before I buy myself a vacation home. I'll tell you that. I'm not in the position to buy a vacation home yet either. So, yes, Crypto Calm, is that suit the official Unibright uniform? Yes, it is. This will be the Unibright uniform. Good spot. Matches the rainbow pattern. Lawrence, nice to have you on here. Okay, let's see here. Hey, Nick, I think you missed my super chat. Thoughts on IOTA right now? Aaron, I apologize about that. In regards to IOTA, I think the project's... thing about IOTA is Tangle's not proving to be the best DAG in the world right now, to be fair. And they still have a lot of centralized components. But long term, I mean, IOTA's concept's very interesting. I think DAGs are still going to be the lead in regards to distributed ledger technology in the long term. Crypto Hamster, I'll have to look into it. I'm not sure exactly about the project. I'll have to see. We get a lot of stuff coming through. I don't really know what project you would send over to them. Let's see. Yep, Jim, good point. Cash is a guaranteed loser with inflation. Jeez, on inflation alone, our house would be worth $300K. But right now, it's estimated to be worth 1.8 million. Oh my gosh. Just to let you guys know, if you haven't already, hit !Discord. Hop onto the Discord. I'll be there in just a few minutes, guys. We'll be closing up the live stream here soon. But LM No P5551 says, Nick, you're a boss. Thanks for your time. Cheers. Hey, back to you, man. Thank you very much. Anthony mentioned we're missing basketball right now. Hey, CB, look, I don't think if you missed out on the ICO in Unibright, I mean, it's on IDEX, to be fair with you. I'm not telling you to go buy it, but, you know, it's pretty much at ICO price, I think, right now, generally around 14 to 15 cents. So you really didn't miss out on much. It's pretty neutral right now. And I like getting things under the radar. There's a lot of hyped projects that get put out onto, you know, IDEX, and they already 3 or 4x and stuff. And I like to find projects that are under the radar, to be fair. I think Unibright's undervalued for the long term. But then again, I got a bias to it. It's just my opinion. Aaron, thanks for your answer, Nick. No problem, Aaron. Glad I could. Let's see. Nano has 0 inflation. That's right. Most cryptos generally don't have any inflation, or it's gotten rid of all of its inflation for Nano. It used to come through a well, or the different little crypto wells, or faucets. That's what they are. Well, I'm glad you liked the channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I am stupid for max debting my apartment to buy crypto in the dip. Well, Pear, I think hopefully crypto will go. I'm betting it's gonna go up this year, so hopefully it'll be all good. We'll have to see. Ben Garber, the only crypto I'd buy for probably the next 10 years, probably Bitcoin, because I don't think Bitcoin will ever go away. It will find a way to keep relevant in this space. Nick joined late due to work. What are your thoughts on the EOS bug? Love the channel, by the way. Lawrence, there's always going to be bugs. You know, I find it extremely hilarious that, you know, to be fair, I'm not a developer. I don't know the severity of the bugs that were found by the organization. There was a team in China that found out about it. I just love how the Ethereum community is so easy to just jump on Dan Larimer and the entire team behind EOS because it's a competing player at its launch. You know, because it's not like Ethereum has had any issues for the past few months. So I can't really think of any smart contract breach. I don't know, parity. You know, there's all kinds of things that happen on Ethereum all the time in regards to bugs and fraudulent code. You know, or flawed code, I guess is the proper term. But you know, it happens all the time. Like that, it's just so silly for the Ethereum community to just jump on EOS for having a bug, and then they do a bug bounty campaign. What's wrong with that? Like, you know, I think that's awesome they did that. So, 14 DMG, we do have a Telegram. We got the alerts channel and then also the trade room. So you should hop in there, man. I hope to have you in there. Yeah, Mr. T, we might do a 300K subscriber party. I don't know. Kendrick, the next crypto uncovered video will be sometime mid to late June, so stay tuned for that. It'll be on OTC markets. KSEP, that's awesome. They did an article on me when you searched up Bitcoin. That's pretty cool. I'll have to look that up. You have to just type in Danny, just together, all in one word, !Discord, and you should be able to get a link to the... Thank you very much, William. I appreciate the donation. Danny H, yeah, if you want to get access to the Discord link, just type in !Discord, all one word. Oh, Pedro, no, I'm sorry if I responded to you wrongly on that one. I did get what you meant in the sense that you work for a car dealership that now accepts Bitcoin. That's awesome, though, man. It's good you guys are taking it. But thank you very much again, William, for the donation. Much appreciated. RSK excites me, too. To be fair, I've heard a lot of people got into RSK. There was a lot of hype around it. I'll have to see if it can live and continue with this crowded ICO space. Next top 3 coins video will probably be tomorrow or the day after. So I definitely am going to try to get it out ASAP. In it for Darwin, yes, I agree. I think we should. I love the moments when we can all come together for crypto very much. Neil B, what about Pied Piper coin? Funny enough, I really enjoyed the last season of Pied Piper. It was really good. But don't know much about the actual tech behind the coin. Seems like they're taking a good marketing opportunity to make it mainstream, which I think that's a smart way to do it. You know, keep those people who've watched the show, actually get them engaged. Tom, Discord is basically, it's a voice chat thing. So if you guys want to hop in there, it's something you can open up to your web browser. You can download the desktop client or mobile app. It's pretty much a voice channel where we can all chat. If you come to the voice channel, we can all discuss and stuff. So, CB says, if Bitcoin will reach 50K this year, I will buy you a Lambo like mine. CB, I'm going to keep you to that. I'll take a Lambo if it's for free. But, CB, I'll keep in touch with me. I'll take a Lambo in that case. If not, you know, if instead you want to spend that money on charity, we should do that. I think that would be good as well. I don't really need much of a sports car, but if hey, you know what, give me a day to drive yours, and we'll put all that money towards charity that you would spend on a Lambo. Okay, how about that? I think that'll be good. Nice Hash just got hacked again. Really, did that actually happen? People on their Reddit just started to complain. Breaking news. Ooh, let's see if Bitcoin took a hit. Let's see here. Oh, yep. That's not good. That's not yeah, it wouldn't be good if Nice Hash really got hacked. All right. Well, anyways, guys, I think that's going to be it for the stream tonight. Want to say to you all, as always, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you all for staying up late. Again, before I head out, guys, I want to say 2 things. 1, hop in the Discord tonight if you can make it in there. Would love to chat with you guys. I'm going to hop in there right after the stream. Just got to go get something to drink real quick. Outside of that, though, love the support, guys. You guys have been absolutely awesome to me. Whether you joined here for the past month or if you've been here since 100 subscribers or 200 subscribers or 300 subscribers, whatever it is. I appreciate, guys. You guys have been there for me. You've made a huge dent in my life and have changed it forever. CB, thank you very much. We need more people like you guys out there. You guys have built an awesome community. It isn't just me. Yes, I'm obviously the face of Data Dash, but outside of that, I think that we've built a really strong community, and it's good to have foundations like this in crypto because we're going to need it. We're going to need these kind of foundations for crypto in the long term. So to that, guys, I say thank you. Have a wonderful night. Sleep well. If not, join in the Discord if you're up late at night and want to talk a little bit. Hop in there, have a discussion. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'll see you all in the next video. Data Dash signing out.